just to show why it matters, this is the banana zone. I posted this on Twitter. Global M2, 10-week lead over Bitcoin. Do you need anything better than that? Oh, wait, I can give you something better than that. I can give you the GMI total liquidity, which is both private sector and state sector liquidity versus Bitcoin. It says the banana zone is here. That's the only thing I can think of, is that everything I look at says the banana zone is here. Bitcoin seasonality, election years, October, up only. Right? And these are big moves. Everything I look at, every single thing shouts the banana zone.
After weeks of an intense bloodbath, with only brief and scattered moments of relief, the cryptocurrency market is finally showing signs of recovery, and experts are certain that this is the big moment we've all been looking forward to. The excitement following the Federal Reserve's rate cut announcement on Wednesday has been topped by the SEC finally issuing approval for the listing and trading of Bitcoin options. On Friday, senior Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balchunas announced in a social media post that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has granted accelerated approval for the listing and trading of options on BlackRock's IBIT. According to Eric's post, other spot Bitcoin ETF issuers will be approved in short order, an all-round huge win for Bitcoin and crypto, as it will attract more liquidity and big traditional investors. MicroStrategy executive chairman and big Bitcoin bull Michael Saylor was one of the first people to comment on the importance of the SEC's approval. In his words, the approval will greatly accelerate institutional Bitcoin adoption. A few hours before that post, Saylor had shared another exciting news on the social media platform. The billionaire executive cited a news article from Unchained Crypto, which cites credible rumors that BNY Mellon will be the first bank to receive the SEC's exemption from SAB 121, the accounting rule that stops banks from being able to custody Bitcoin. According to Saylor's post, one or more major banks will soon be able to custody Bitcoin for their wealthy clients. With all of these exciting developments and central banks about to embark on what many experts believe will be the biggest money-printing exercise in history, Real Vision CEO and renowned macro analyst Raoul says the stage is now set for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies to explode massively. According to Powell, the beginning of the much-anticipated banana zone could be only days away. In a recent video uploaded on his Raoul the Journeyman YouTube channel, Powell shares several important charts suggesting that global liquidity will surge within the next 10 weeks, followed by a massive explosion in cryptocurrency prices. As we bring you clips from Powell's video, another important Banana Zone masterclass, please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Everything you do helps with the YouTube algorithm and immensely contributes to the channel's growth. Thanks, and enjoy the video.
Now, I'm wearing my Banana Zone t-shirt because I think it's coming. I think it's coming in days or maybe a week. And before I said, well, maybe it's next month, maybe it's the month after, maybe it's this week, I don't know. I'm like, no. Julian and I in Global Macro Investor, which is the flagship research service. And if you haven't checked it out, go to globalmacroinvestor.com, have a look, see what we do from there. That's where we do the deep work. I think we do more macro crypto work than anybody else in the world. And I think our macro work is the best in the world as well. And we've done thousands of hours on this. And I know it sounds hubristic, but I honestly give this banana zone an 80-something% chance of happening almost immediately. Give it 2 weeks, within 2 weeks. And I know that sticking my neck out and wearing my Banana Zone t-shirt, I'm trying not to jinx the thing. But, you know, as I've talked about, all of our hopes and dreams are in this. Mine too. Real Vision as a business. Almost everybody I speak to, you know, I've been on the phone with a few, billionaire GMI subscribers, friends of mine. Everybody wants this to happen. Everyone needs this to happen because people are invested. Now, technology, there's a bunch of other ways of skinning this cat. But really, people have been like this with high interest rates, a slow business cycle where ISM has been bumping along. And I know people like a lot of, people on Twitter are like, oh, well, my God, the markets are all-time high. What's everybody complaining about? Speak to real people when their mortgages are like that, their interest payments are like that, their credit card bills are like that. Speak to corporations who are trying to borrow money that aren't kind of, AAA rated tech companies that have no debt. All of this stuff. It has been very, very difficult for a while. Rates have been the highest they have for a very long time. The rate of change of interest rates was enormous. Inflation is now wildly below interest rates. So real rates are ridiculously restrictive, and people feel it. People are not happy. People don't have personal expenditure abilities to do what they want, but it's coming. It's coming. The business cycle's changing. So all of you who run businesses, all of you who see the sluggishness of the cycle and wonder why the equity market's going to all-time highs and your business isn't yet, it's all going to come. Things are going to improve dramatically. The equity market's driven by liquidity. Your earnings, yours and mine, are driven by the business cycle. And that is just about to pick up. So cheers. Here's to a much, much better 18 months ahead. The banana zone is here and now. The other thing I put out on X was about Sui. Sui is a crypto token that I'm on the foundation board of. So yes, I'm shilling it, but I'm actually not. I don't talk about stuff that I don't think is going to go up. I've been talking about this for a while. I've been warning people that I think Sui is going to be one of the chosen ones of the cycle. And it's starting to happen. Sui, it's outperforming pretty much everything now. And most importantly, it's outperforming Solana, which is my big bet. And Solana is, my chosen one. I have 90% of my net worth in Solana. But Sui, I've obviously been granted some tokens as being part of the foundation. They're locked up, etc. But I'm not going to sell. In fact, no, some of them are unlocked. I'm not going to sell. In fact, I've been buying personally because I think it's a chosen one. I think it's going to do really well.
In his video, Pal acknowledges that one of the strongest arguments against Sui is that it is a low-float token. However, the Real Vision CEO argues that during a full-blown crypto bull market, the likes of which he believes we are just about to enter, a low free float will mean only a small amount of money is needed to drive prices insanely higher. Pal made similar arguments about low float, high fully diluted valuation tokens in a social media post last month, arguing that these tokens may actually outperform the market in a bull market. Pal's post reads, "The markets hate low float, high FDV tokens, so they all fall on the initial float, usually by 70% plus as the market prices future unlocks, etc. Most unlocks actually do not see large selling events anyhow. However, from that point on, supply is a known, so demand is the more important part of the equation. If a token shows real demand growth, even in the early stage, either from network activity or even speculative interest, then demand will grow faster than supply for now, and number go up. With demand rising across the crypto ecosystem as the bull market phases of crypto summer and crypto fall take hold, alt season, tokens that are seeing increasing demand but tiny supply due to low floats will be more asymmetric to the upside in a bull market. In his post, Pal further argues that tokens that show network growth and investor interest might well be the best performers over the next 18 months, despite the prevailing narrative that they should be avoided at all costs. Though he does not mention any names in the post, Sui is definitely on his radar. Let's get back to the video.
One of what I like about Sui is what they're really trying to do is the team came out of Facebook or Meta, where they built the Libra project that was shut down by every government in the world. Not joking, they were literally told that they were not going to do this by everybody from the World Bank to the BIS to all the major central banks. And the team left. And they started, one group started Aptos, the other started Sui. They rebuilt the Move language they invented for this. And they built an incredibly sophisticated chain. But the point being is, it's really bloody fast. The latency of the chain is less than 1 second for finality, which is, if you think half the stuff, it's like minutes. The latency is fast enough for gaming, financial markets, that kind of stuff. They've just launching Walrus, which is a decentralized data storage layer using blobs that's built on top of the Sui network. So think of Filecoin, think of AWS, decentralized, but for a Web3 world. That's coming on top. There's a bunch of other applications. Pilotfish is coming, which is their version of FireDancer, which will give it kind of unlimited TPS. It's just a bloody interesting project. You may hate it. You may have something else you prefer. All I ask you to do is show to yourself, not to me, that your chart is going to outperform Solana, and then is it going to outperform Sui? Is it going to outperform? Yeah, that's the way to do things, and that's what got me into the Bitcoin ETH cross. That's what got me into the Solana ETH Solana trade, and Sui. I've been flagging this for a while. I thought it was looking like the chart was going to do this, so it feels like it's one of the big ones. There'll be other stuff that will outperform Sui without question. Maybe it's your token, maybe it's your, and I'm not going to mention. Every time I mention a bunch of tokens, I get shouts about. So I just can't be bothered with you guys. But listen, I believe in abundance, and I wish you, in whatever your choices are, the best. It is not player versus player. I'm just trying to make as much money for myself and for my subscribers of Pro Macro and Global Macro Investor and the Macro Investing Tool. All the things that I do to try and help people, and publicly. I share a lot of my information for free. Pisses off some of the people who are paying tens of thousands of dollars for my research, but it's really important for me to help as many people in this journey as possible. If we're going through the largest opportunity in all macro history in the shortest period of time, I've got to take as many people as possible with me. If not, I'm selfish. That's not why I set up Real Vision. It's not what I've been doing this. It's really important to me that you guys do the best. Now, I am not fallible. I'm not a guru. I will not get everything right. And you will probably hate me at some point and love me at other times. Just like I mentioned this a lot, just realize I'm just trying to do the best I can to help. I'm not trying to diss your coin. I'm not trying to do anything against you. I'm not trying to scam you, shill you, do anything. I am just doing what I'm doing myself. And I'm telling you what I'm doing. And if you don't want to do that, that's good too. If you want to come along with me for the ride, that's fine too. I don't have all the answers. I will not be the best in the world.
In other news, BlackRock, the world's largest asset management firm with over $10 trillion in assets under management, has revealed it is quietly preparing for a $35 trillion Federal Reserve dollar crisis with Bitcoin. In a recent paper outlining the investment case for Bitcoin, BlackRock's ETF chief investment officer, its head of crypto, and its head of fixed income global macro argued that as fears mount about the dollar being on the verge of a complete collapse, more investors will diversify into Bitcoin to avoid the collapse. The growing concerns in the U.S. and abroad over the state of U.S. federal deficits and debt has increased the appeal of potential alternative reserve assets as a potential hedge against possible future events affecting the U.S. dollar, the authors began in the paper. This dynamic appears to be also taking hold in other countries where debt accumulation has been significant, they added. In our experience with clients to date, this explains a substantial portion of the recent broadening institutional interest in Bitcoin. The authors also noted that while Bitcoin has shown instances of short-term correlation with equities and other risk assets, its longer-term fundamental drivers are starkly different and in many cases inverted versus most traditional investment assets. Over the next few weeks, U.S. regulators are expected to make important moves that will make Bitcoin even more attractive to institutional investors. For instance, IBIT's options listing approval has only been granted by the SEC. The OCC and CFTC must also approve it before it officially lists and begins to trade. That's expected to happen within the next few weeks. The SEC is also expected to give out SAB 121 exemptions to select banks. All of these developments will undoubtedly accelerate institutional interest and demand for Bitcoin, which will hugely impact prices. Certainly, really exciting times lie ahead for the cryptocurrency and overall digital asset space in 2025 and beyond. Please share your thoughts on Raoul Pal's video, as well as comments on all the exciting developments expected for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in the comments section below. Also, ensure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.